Alternate
do know what they're coming up against. They found these players' accounts. They were a bit tough to track down, of course, we mentioned, on the Nordic East server, and they don't have the same names they've matched here. They're not wearing Mistral tags. Some of them have got crazy different things and weird tags on too for teams that don't seem to exist.
No, they don't exist. I checked.
Yeah, they were just having some fun with their names. Where is it? They got 5 seconds. Ah, let me down.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
No, they did their research as well. So, first pick. Elise.
Elise, we did see her banned in the previous games, left open in the second one, but just untouched. Right. Something we've seen a lot of people play in the support role recently. Crepo's been playing it a lot in solo queue and the likes on stream, prepping. We saw her a couple of times in LCS as well. And Jerry, it's something I could see him doing. But Kerb can also play at the top lane.
Right, Elise also did absolutely amazing in the MLG International Expedition. Combined with an Orianna, when you have the speed up of the Orianna and Elise can jump on the AD carry, she does so much more work than just normally, So you're not going to see that, but it's a great stun. Elise bot lane, TF mid is what they played in the Team Dignitas tournament the other day.
Team Dignitas tournament. We didn't do too well in that one, did we? That was
blame the jungler. I blame the jungler. When in doubt,
jungler was busy in CB. Sorry. We do get a Nasus though, and that I'm happy about. I like Nasus play, and we see our first Lulu at the tournament too. Lulu is one of these supports that's really come into favour at the moment. She's got a great kit, and 80% slow from level 1 on that Glitter Lance. Really good poke in that bottom lane, and that Wild Growth can save and turn and initiate team fights.
Great with Nasus, great with any AD carry. Lulu's a strong defensive pick. Caitlyn and Diana coming out of alternate, they're going for lane dominance, I think, here.
Yeah, it's a very strong pairing. Good long-range poke coming down from Caitlyn. Can work quite well with Elise for that same reason. That long-range stun means they can get a lot of damage down. But it's also strong to go against Lulu and taking it away from the Mistral AD carry. Because Lulu Caitlyn is a very powerful bottom lane. We've even seen some of the Korean teams swap it to mid lane to really punish their opponent. And when you're trying to run a melee mid laner, Lulu Kate shuts them down incredibly well.
I think the crowd wanted a jungle Taric or some such. Maybe a Lulu top lane. You can swap these champions around so much these days.
I mean, yeah, I've jumped on that. You could see jungle Nasus, but considering jungle Nasus was picked the same, Nasus was picked the same time as Lulu, the jungler was in that same picking phase. That could very well be Wolves picking his own champion. That could be Nasus top.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there'd be no reason for
the jungler is the one who's been practicing Nasus recently.
Yes, but I mean, they picked at the same time. So why didn't the jungler pick his own champion and then let Wolves pick the support?
I don't know, they do things differently in Europe, Nordic and East.
Up there in the cold places. We do get Varus and Kha'Zix locked in. Haven't seen the strongest Kha'Zix play, of course, from TCM before. Gave it a bit of shot, lane phase fell behind a little way. Didn't really make much impact in team fights. But we've seen our first Darius, and there is that Sona support. So it's going to be
Sona, jungle, of all the champions that have not been banned, Sona's alternate's most picked. They really like the Sona. We were talking earlier, he's been playing some Blitzcrank. If Thresh was open, they would have first picked Thresh, but Sona, really solid pick for them. They didn't have to pick it early because Lulu hovering over the Tindramere.
This is just playing to the crowd now. We'll watch it. We're going to go back. Alton's lineup, wait for him to, obviously going to do the switches and things, but when you see that going, Darius can top lane, Elise can top lane, Diana can top lane, Diana can mid, Elise can mid, Darius can mid. Against melee champions, he does very well in that situation. Where are they putting him? What players are playing what?
I don't know. Darius can also jungle, mobility boots. He's kind of weak in running away. Initiating is great. I mean, there was a great Darius also in the International Expedition, but he built damage and he eventually fed off completely differently. And let's see these swap around and where everyone's going. Arade out on Darius, yeah, I'm not that surprised on that. Elise top lane, Diana mid. Very solid team from alternate, high single target damage. They're going to want to catch people. It's probably going to be bits of mobility on Darius. Maybe Shirelia's, probably not. On the other team.
Wouldn't surprise me if they keep switching that Darius and Elise combo. Darius is a very snowbally jungler, but in the top lane he can just farm, get tanky and still do a lot of damage. But again, last second switches can really throw people off. You've got magic damage coming out from Elise. If she's in the top lane, you've got to go MR runes. Darius is up there, you can go physical damage runes.
I think he's going to go armor and magic resist based on these swaps. You know, Renekton probably starts red pot anyway.
There is a magic resist.
Not too worried about
damage over time, of course, coming from Darius too.
Yep.
But there is Renekton top lane. Nasus did end up in the jungle for the guys on Mistral. But there are complete lineups. This is our second semi-final. This is Alternate versus Mistral. In one of these guys is, it's best hope so far of getting into the LCS second time round. Alternate tried first, unfortunately fell through. First time we've seen Mistral get quite so far, and there's grins all over Alternate. They're ready for this game. Given the comps, given the picks, forget the players, forget anything else that could go on. Favourite?
I have to go with Alternate on experience here, but maybe not the Darius pick. I think he knows how to make it work. He's going to have to work hard to keep that working in the mid-late game. But I think this game is going to be decided in the laning phase, and I think Alternate are going to put a lot of pressure on Mistral in the earlier game.
Yeah, and speaking of, we've seen a couple of invade strats coming out in the level 1 for the 2 previous games to varying levels of success. These 2 teams, the comps here, don't really seem to lend themselves too well to an invade. We've got a long-range stun coming out from Elise if she wants it, but that means burning her first skill point on that stun, and that's not great for jungling.
Right, double red pot start on Mistral's side, so they're taking the safe route. Interesting start from Darius. We don't see this too much. He's going to want to do something tricky with that pink ward.
He's going to wait for Renekton to drop his and kill it, I'd imagine. But we'll wait and see exactly what the strat is. Of course, doesn't even need his jungler to gank top if he does that. It's just the fact that Renekton knows I can't see he could be here. Means he's going to have to play a little bit safer and give Darius that aggressive waiting. If you get that first quick ward, then comes in from Menki, placed at the top of that ramp, giving good vision of any kind of shenanigans that might be played down and around that bottom half of the map, down and around that red buff, and then he kind of invades onto blue from that path. But that being said, Alternate planted a ward in that banana bush on the top side of the river to view the same entrance on their half of the map.
I mean, really, this pink ward is just good prediction from Cup. It's experience showing through, right? So Renekton, he's really known for going the red part. So when you go red part, you can only get 1 ward. By buying the 1 pink ward, if he shuts that down, Renekton can never go all in unless his jungler's near.
So we do see what looks like a blue start coming out from Nasus. We've seen a couple of different junglers slightly skill Nasus very differently. Diamond Procs like to max his E ability, his Spirit Fire for the armor reduction, and then go for, depending on his opponent, sometimes Wither, sometimes his Q ability. We did see from a couple of junglers maxing their Q ability first before that AoE, which made jungling a little bit slower, but did allow him to do a lot more single target damage. So we'll see exactly how Jankos goes with this. He has obviously started that Spirit Fire for the AoE clear and then gets a Smiteless pull from his bottom lane. Aranea starting red buff, taking a lot of damage here with the help from Jerry. Did try and use his spiders to tank that red buff, but ultimately they get killed very quickly. Does have to wait for the cooldown, dial back in. Does it properly this time around with the next wave of spiders before they get killed. So he's going to have to chug his health potions, but ultimately he's going to be fine.
Considering they're running a full AD comp, I would be really surprised if Nasus did not max his E first. The Spirit Fire does give quite a significant chunk of armor reduction, and it would go really well with the composition of this team. And it does, I mean, it helps your damage anyway, because you're doing physical damage. And Corellian Lord's doing the standard Diana thing, you know. Diana, every third auto attack does the AoE damage, and then you Q, and then you've done the wave, you're safe. You know, the wave doesn't stall, you're not too worried about the ganks, but the question is Kha'Zix going to ask Nasus for help, because Wither is such a strong spell.
Yeah, we'll have a look as Ferelin comes up on screen, see what kind of setup he's got. There's the pink ward placed down from Darius. That means Wolves has no vision of this Elise walking up the river. He's getting pushed into this turret by Curb. Renekton hasn't quite made any impact yet, and there's a shield comes out from Renelord, more than enough to block that Kha'Zix damage. We do now see Renekton edging forward. So she's going to plant those one on either side and make sure Nasus can't come in, cause a nuisance, because she's doing very well just 1v1 in that lane. Aranea actually now coming around behind Jokers. He did go forward for that CS, does leap away before the stun comes out, but the stun just straight up misses. Does catch a little bit of poke, but ultimately gets out of there without burning any summoners and without losing his life.
It's interesting that he went boots against Diana, who can gap close quite quickly with her ultimate. So I'm thinking Kha'Zix is probably debating roaming right now. He's got the start of his tiers. He's going to go for that next, and he's probably not going to look for kills mid. He's going to want to roam and catch the other lanes off guard.
We did see him start to head towards that bottom lane for a little bit earlier on, but changing his mind halfway there, obviously discussing with his team as he went. Do you want me down there? Do you think we can do this? Shall I come? No, I'll go back to mid. Diana's pushing hard. Make sure he didn't miss any CS or experience. But the gold is starting to go back towards a level state now as Renekton's starting to get some farm. He's up to 24 now, not quite as big a gap as it was away from Darius, but it was big enough that Darius picked up an extra Doran's Blade.
Yeah, Renekton's backing again because he knew Darius backed, and he actually came back without a ward. He really wanted that Doran's Blade, so he went back, shoved the lane a couple of times, went back, got a ward, is kind of scared about that Elise gank. Even though he has flash, even though he has the red part, he's still pretty worried.
Yeah, we do see Nasa's holding their bottom lane for a little while, making sure his AD carry support can back away by some items. Vamp Scepter comes out to start with from Varus. Should be seeing another Blade of Ruin King from him. Very powerful first item in that situation. Brunello now comfortably just farming away the race from Jokers. Comes around the backside, the stun lands this time from Aranea. Burst damage goes out, Moonfall cancels the leap, but the flash is there this time around, and Aaron is choosing not to go under the turret with that repel. Good call.
Yeah, great decision not to go in. It was tempting, lots of people would have gone in. Freljord Lord, he's got the damage on Kha'Zix, so he's thinking about going for it, but he's having mana problems.
Starting to get that gold, he's stretching out even further now, 700 in favour of Ultimate. We do see Freljord, as I said, he was farming the race, enemy race every time they came up to spawn, so he's getting even more gold through that way. CS lead is going to spread further ahead of Kha'Zix, and we really need to see something happen from this Kha'Zix soon, whether it be killing Diana with the help of Nasus here, or whether it be roaming around somewhere else. He's just going to keep falling further and further behind if this is the way the game will go.
Well, I don't think he's too concerned about that. He's just biding his time, waiting to see if he can catch something up on the other lanes. He did have to blow his flash earlier. That makes him quite weak. Diana still has that flash up. It's getting close to the part where she can just dive him, 1v1 him. Particularly now that he just picked up that blue buff. I think the call is going to go out to Aranea. We should try and get a kill on mid lane because he has the tiers. They don't want him to just hop over to the wraiths, farm that, hop back to lane, because then he will catch up with Diana.
Yeah, as I said, Aranea was there when they blew that flash. He knows he will be back soon. Walsh gets grabbed in by Kurt, pops his ultimate, takes the ignite, but there's a lot of damage. The true damage goes down. Is the ignite and the burn damage enough? The bleed, it's still ticking. The ignites were off, but the bleed's going. He levels up! The level up and health potion combo saves his life under his own turret, but he's staying. This is really ballsy. Will the health potion heal him up enough, or is Kurt still going to get this kill?
He's staying because he's baiting his jungler in. Middle lane also came along, but Kerp knew something was up. Kerp knew this guy should not be sticking around this long. He sensed that and went around. It was a great attempt by Kerp, but Renekton, he just got that level up at just the right time.
Perfect timing. Ballsy play, staying around, waiting for it, and of course hoping that health potion tick. There's no point running away. If you run, he just died while running. Staying, got him the extra XP, got him the health potion tick. Do see Google Lidl's going out of the bottom lane. Nicely dodged by Medlex, takes a little bit of poke, but returns as good as he gets. An even trade, but lane pushing away from Alternate means they've got to play this a little bit careful. Lulu trying to be a nuisance, poke them out a little bit. She is level 5. To Sona's 5. There's no advantage there, but here comes Kha'Zix. Leaps in, forces a flash away from Jerry. Exhaust goes down, Medlex doesn't get caught. Late cleanse, but it doesn't matter. He gets out anyway. He does have to rope both summoners.
Great play from Alternate. They got away from that. Kha'Zix, he's blowing summoners. I'm wondering if they're going to go for this bot lane tower because mid lane's taking a lot of damage. Nasus, just look at how slow Diana was with that Wither. She has no escapes. So I think later on that Wither's going to be pretty key in catching Diana.
No, still 800 gold advantage. Aranea throws out that stun, doesn't quite catch on to Jokers though. Freljord still being a nuisance in mid lane. This time onto Jankos, pulls him over the Moonfall. Crescent Strike, just catching him as he tries to walk away, still farming the lane. There's Diana actually going straight in, waits for the cooldown. The ignite comes up. The third attack does extra damage. The first blood's there, but Freljord's going very low. Doesn't matter, it's got more than enough health.
He also still had his flash. He was just ticking that out. He knew. He's so experienced at diving with Diana. He saw Nasus. Although Nasus had ultimate, he teched the mana. He's like, right, you can't ult. You're way overextended. Went in, paid off in dividends. Diana snowballing is not something that Mistral want to deal with right now.
Yeah, Kerp shoving this top lane up again, getting very aggressive. Nothing the Rex can really do about it other than try and farm under the tower. Got an early chain vest, but of course that bleed damage is magic damage, and every time he catches an ability or an auto attack from Darius, he starts to stack it up. So still taking a fair bit of punishment, and of course trying to fight that tower for the creeps. There's pings onto Dragon from Alternate. They've got it pinged, and they look like they're going for it. Lulu's on her way down here, though, so they're going to find it. They're going to have to do this very quickly. Oh, dancing backwards and forwards with the Spiders and Aranea, trying to make sure they take it instead of him. A lot of damage going out. Metalex go there with auto attacks too. Ward goes down. They do see it, realize there's no chance they're going to save that. And that's the first strike of the game in Alternate's favor.
It's good control.
Fernlord's still going in. She missed that Crescent Strike, but she wants to go for it anyway. Moon falls in back in, pops the shield. Next Crescent Strike lands. Immediate leap away as Aranea comes into vision. It's a lot of damage went down to Kha'Zix despite that original Crescent Strike missing. And that's the mid turret down.
And NASA seems to be at the tower top lane. They want to take that, but on the other side, Alternate are going for the mid lane. The problem was Nasus walked over a ward and they went straight in on mid lane.
Yeah, Nasus revealed where he was, and now he's taking a lot of damage from Kerp. Kerp tries to get the Wither out though. They haven't killed the tower in time. He's still taking their switch onto it. Both ults pop. Very big champions now and then. Slice and Dice goes out. Kerp's on the run. He's got his Ignite ticking down. He's flashed away, but Jankos is still chasing. He's got his ult ticking. The AoE damage is enough. But a kill and a turret. Is it worth losing a tier 2 turret mid? We don't know, but J-Ree is falling very low bottom. He will drop to the Ignite and auto attacks of Celiva. Luluel goes out just to give him enough health. They don't want to fight Metalex, and they're just going to run away from it. There's a good exchange for Mistral in that bottom lane, but ultimately they still lose two tier 2 turrets. Two turrets in mid lane, including a tier 2. It's a big part of their map.
Yeah, that tier 2 turret was a big problem for Mistral. They're really going to suffer for that later. Nasus is... It's all good wards that are causing this, and look at the damage Elise is pulling out.
She does get a stun onto Jokers, and Moonfall. Crescent Strike comes in. Moonfall's not even needed. There it is onto Celiva. And there's a double kill for Diana. That's what happens when you lose your mid turret. You don't know where those mid laners have gone. They were roaming around that jungle. Every entrance to that jungle had an alternate player in it. Bottom side, Mentalex was there. Top side, for Eleanor was there. Middle entrance, that Tribush, Aranea was there, and they collapsed in beautifully onto that bottom turret. Picked up a double kill for Diana. She is a brilliant assassin when she starts to get ahead. Should she start landing those Crescent Strikes onto squishy targets like Lulu, like Kha'Zix, like Caitlyn, like Varus, she's going to be able to blow them up.
She's a really strong pick with the Elise, that stun. They both jump on the squishy at the same time. Diana has a lot of money right now. We are going to see a really quick Zhonya's from this Diana.
Good smite steal from Jankos. Saved his own blue.
Yeah.
Smite went out from Aranea a little bit too soon. Jankos got his down instead, and walks away with a blue pack.
He does indeed, but how are you going to deal with this Diana? She's going Zhonya's. It's an all AD team. Diana's going to be so strong.
Mistral do ping onto this mid turret. Double ping's going down. They push it up with Nasus and Kha'Zix, but ultimately Diana's there, and she casts 2 abilities, and suddenly the tower's safe. And a little bit of miscommunication. Jankos wants to go in, puts his Wither and takes a turret shot. Joker's deciding, no, that's a bad idea. We'll back away. J-Ree's coming out now. He's still to be careful. Very squishy, and these two can burst him down very quickly if they want. They do look like they've sacked this mid turret. They're bringing Darius down, but can Darius defend against these 3? Looks like he can. Renekton's here, but with one Wither, Mistral will back off.
That is a full health mid turret against 2 downed mid turrets on Mistral. That's such good map control from Alternate, and lots of people converging on the spot lane. They're eyeing that Caitlyn.
Do you see some steady auto attacks coming out onto that turret from Varus? Not quite enough to finish it off yet, though. 3v3, there's the ult comes out from Varus onto J-Ree. Sonora goes down, Joker's leaping into it. J-Ree's very low, but the exhaust is there. Joker's has to leap away. Repel comes down from Aranea, but he's not enough to finish that Kha'Zix off instantly. Bolt's burned, Flash is burned, but no kills this time around. But still, came out in favour of Alternate.
What a perfect ult from J-Ree right there. He really shut down that aggressive, landed across everyone, and all of a sudden, Mistral were on the back foot. Elise did give chase for a little bit, but didn't quite stick.
Perennial catches the Crescent Strike in onto Wolves, leaps in there, Moonfall for the slow. Ult comes out from Wolves to try and pick him back up. There's another Crescent Strike. He's got a double Lunar Rush because of the resets. Perennial playing that beautifully. He could have used that Lunar Rush twice straight away because of the reset, but he waited for Crescent Strike to come up again, so that way he got 3 Lunar Rush off in that fight. That damage is huge. That damage helps him burn through Renekton, and a little bit of help from Ignite. 2 Mistral Dragon comes up, but there are 2 members of Mistral now closing into the top lane onto Perennial. Nasus is there. And Kha'Zix is there. Kha'Zix needs to be careful not to cast Crescent Strike of his own. He could melt. Now, though, here's Nasus. He goes in. Friendlord heading towards that creep, trying to get a Crescent Strike onto Jankos. Doesn't manage it, but he's delaying long enough. Now Curbs here. Is this too long for the Mistral guys? They lose one. Kha'Zix is dropped. Jankos is being chased. He's got Ghost running, but he's run straight into Aranea. The stun comes down. The Crescent Strike's there, and it's another kill for Alternate.
Beautiful play from Alternate. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. Diana with the Zhonyas can bait so much. He dragged them up to the wall. Darius hooked Kha'Zix over the wall. Kha'Zix didn't know what hit him. Aranea was running straight up. Great mobile champion in Elise. Range stun. Nasus goes down too. Alternate they're flying right now. They're in great form.
And again, Friendlord knew exactly what he could take. He stood there, he played that beautifully, he kited around him a little bit, did some damage where he could, waited to the last moment, popped his Zhonyas. Suddenly they were in a bit of a panic. What's he doing? And then Curb appeared. Suddenly dead Kha'Zix. Instant dunk straight down on his head. They keep trying to find Friendlord very, very carefully around this bottom half of the map. To see a couple of recalls coming out from Alternate, but they've grabbed that inhibitor turret in the mid lane at 16 minutes. Very soon they're just going to be able to walk straight up there and take it down. And with this Dragon spawning in 35 seconds, if Mistral do not play this fight, should they take a fight at Dragon perfectly, that inhib will die.
Just look at these aggressive wards from Alternate going out on the map. They're covering all those entrances into the forest. They are going for another pick, and the moment they take out another pick, they are going for that inhibitor. And Mistral, they have to be so careful. They can't afford an Oracles right now. All they have is a pink ward, and where does it go? It's probably going to go at Dragon. But man, they're in a tough spot. Someone's going to get caught soon, and the question is just when.
Pink goes down directly onto that ward. Immediately killed with a pink return from Alternate. There is the Drake goes down. No one from Mistral anywhere nearby. They knew it was around. They warded it, but again, a free Drake for Alternate. So their gold lead stretches up to 8,000 at 17 minutes. 5 turrets to 1. The map control, as well as the global gold that comes from that, is giving them a massive advantage. You can see the gold differences there on your screen. 6.5k for Caitlyn, 5k for Varus. Not that big of a difference between the AD carries, but ultimately they haven't done much other than farm in this game. In the mid lane, though, 4.3 on Kha'Zix to 7.9 on Diana.
Yeah, Friendlord's been having a great game on Diana. His dives have been working out. When he gets the Zhonyas, he can dive whoever he wants. I mean, he's just looking at top lane. Renekton's thinking to himself right now, can I hold this Diana? She's got 4 kills, she's got a Zhonyas, and she's got a Rod on top of that. Is he going to call for the Nasus to back him up just against a Diana? What do Mistral do right now?
Mistral has to send 2 people to deal with Friendlord every time, and that opens up the rest of the lanes wherever. Jankos has been spotted by that ward as he's recalling. Friendlord's going in. 1 Lunar Rush user, remember. Still waiting for the Crescent Strike to get the second one. Moonfall comes in. There's the Crescent Strike again. Lands. He uses Lunar Rush with help from Curb. Another kill in the back.
Great single target burst comp, and nice stun landing from Aranea.
He does, he goes in onto Menki as well, taking quite a bit of burst speed, going very low himself, but immediately repels up for safety. Medlex is there, but a nice ult comes out from Silver as soon as he lands again. Jokers leaps in and gets one quick kill, but they are low on health. Medlex trying to back away, he's now trying to 1v2, does take a bit of poke. Here comes Jerry, they just want him to rotate around, just get the inhib, dude. We don't need a fight, just get the inhib. Jerry actually the one that gets it. Wolf pops his ult very prematurely, and it'll never fine, you can bob that for free, we'll just leave.
Yeah, he was protecting his squishies there. He's like, you know, if you want my Varus, you're going to have to come through me. But inhib's down. So the side lanes are going to get more health, and there's wards everywhere for Alternate. They are just going to pick someone off. I mean, Diana chunked Nasus down so hard. He has Merc treads. Darius came along to finish the job, but I mean, if Nasus didn't have Ghost. Actually, I don't think he popped Ghost. Maybe it was down, but...
This is dangerous. We see Friendlord going in onto Jokers again. Wolves is here this time round to help him out, but Friendlord's still got his Zhonyas, remember. Curbs in. They do manage to pick up one. Friendlord going on to the next one. The Ignite's ticking down. Those rockets come out from Kha'Zix. It's not quite enough. He doesn't even need the Zhonyas that Ignite. Just walks on out of there. But Jankos is here. This time he's going to need to pop those Zhonyas. The shield comes up. Where's the Q? There it is. He's waiting. He's still got the shield. Flashes away. Still hasn't needed it. Menkyu's here. Jankos is closing in. Moonfalls for the slow. That's ballsy. Puts it towards. Leaves back the other way. Lunar Rush into Zhonyas, but the Zhonyas is going to come up. He will drop down to the Spirit Fire, and Curb's now 3v1. Alternate closing in on all sides. Curb gets silenced in the middle of his ultimate. Saves Jankos' life. Oh, from Caitlyn, not quite enough to finish him off because Menkyu tanks it, but now Aranea is here. Beautiful leap away, but a flash follow-up gives that kill. Metalex is now 2v1 in. Jankos is the first victim. Menkyu finished by Aranea. And a good cleanup from Alternate, but a crazy fight all around. And a tier 2 turret in the bottom lane will be killed by Celeber.
Pharrell Lord held on to that Zhonya's for so long. He knew when that damage was going to come in. Interesting Baron attempt. He's reasonably tanky, actually. He's got Frozen Heart and Ninja Tabby. So
those spiders do a lot of damage.
Yeah, they do a nice amount of tanking. But after they spent so much to kill Diana, they had nowhere to run to. And Alternate just closed the gap. And this Baron attempt, it's pretty ballsy, but pretty good from Alternate.
It's all on Renekton to try and clean this up. These are 3 very squishy champions as far as he's concerned. He's got a lot of damage, but they're already low. They're taking a lot of damage from the Baron. The damage has been reduced. Metallic's taken low. He's been exhausted instantly, but he goes in. Baron's very low. Does get killed by Arena. He smites it, but he might lose his life for it. Soda rolls there anyway. Metallic's grabs the kill. Nice try, Wolves, but perfectly executed by Alternate. Celeber's been caught out on his way after trying to help her. Does ult and display the Ruin Key onto Curb to get away to safety. Another slow makes sure he's gone. Nicely played by him, but still, risky play. It shouldn't have been in the first place.
Talk about on a knife edge. If Renekton had been there just a second or two earlier, that could have gone so badly for Alternate. I mean, what if the Smite died? Renekton could have picked up Baron, and that would completely change the pace of this game. But, I mean, they got a bit lucky, and they ended up okay.
Kurt pulls a lizard through the wall. And the big lizard follows. There it is. Jankos just finds the little one, drops a wood in the bush. He's so scared about trying, but he doesn't know who's there doing this. It is Curb. Smite goes out too soon. Curb gets it anyway. Why so keen? You can see that that's not the jungler. You can see that's Darius. He's not going to dunk it. Just wait till it's really low.
It's just got to be on tilt right now, this Nasus. Man, that is not what you want to have happen. Oh, just simple things like the red buff. I mean, poor Nasus at that one.
Simple things like Celeber here. You are so overexposed. Friendlord uses his Lunar Rush just to get in range. Then he'll use a Crescent Strike. There's Curbs, open-bladed Ruin King. Max range grab. Celeber burning. There we go. Flashes forward. No one seemed to want to take it. But ultimately, Aranea finishes him off, and they grab a tier 2 turret in the process.
All down towards again. Nice pink ward at the blue buff from Alternate means that Varus did not see that coming. I mean, where can they even ward? In addition to pink ward, there's an Oracle on Sonya.
Lord, you can kill Tara. I'm going to go kill Jankos. Straight in, Crescent Strike, Lunar Rush. There he goes. Curb comes up, dunk onto a 1. The next one's dropped before he can even try. Lunar Rush is there. Menkyu and Joker's the last 2 up. Curb not got the help to tank that turret. They do back up to the outer one. Finish off this inhib. But there's already super creeps onto the Nexus turret. 2 members of Mistral are left up. Celeber's about to respawn, but they've got a mountain to climb if they want to save this Nexus. Turret number 1 is down. Friendlord is still zoning these out. Celeber's doing what he can. Turret number 2 is down. Nexus exposed. Super creeps everywhere. Alternate everywhere. They are slowly killing this Nexus, trying to get the kills there. They're taking down very low in the process, but ultimately the Nexus will fall.